What's good, YouTube, and welcome to another KaibaHacksDartz Yu-Gi-Oh video. Today we're coming at you with another deck list, deck profile, deck update, whatever you like to call it. And this is my Pineapple deck for January 2025. What is the Pineapple deck? It is pineapple cards, mostly consisting of plant stuff and some wacky plays. It is a pretty fun deck that is still a work in progress, of course. But we'll run through her today. Of course, it starts with 3 Naturia Pineapple. All face-up monsters you control become plant monsters, and once per turn during your standby phase, if you do not control a face-up Naturia Pineapple and have no monsters in your graveyard except plant or beast, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. You must control no spells or traps to activate and resolve this effect. So he's kind of wonky, but it is what it is. He's a pineapple boy. Next, we have 3 Fengli the Soldier Palm. Now, he doesn't say pineapple in his name, but you can clearly see that he is a pineapple. He is also a plant monster, tuner. If this card is sent from the deck to the graveyard by a monster effect, you can special summon this card. Then, if you control another plant monster, you can have the attack and defense of 1 monster on the field, and you can only use the effect of Fengli the Soldier Palm once per turn. Also, once per turn, if this card on the field would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send 1 plant monster from your deck to the graveyard instead. So ideally, you could keep comboing off Soldier Palms. You could get a Naturia Pineapple in your graveyard to get his effect off. You could do a couple different things, but it kind of works like a Catapult Zone and like the Rock deck, if you've seen that. Next, we're still in the monsters, but I thought I'd throw this in just because it is the last of the pineapple cards. It is Pineapple Blast. There is only 3 of them technically. In Pineapple Blast, trap card. You can activate this card when you normal summon a monster successfully. If there are more monsters on your opponent's side of the field than your side, destroy your opponent's monsters so that your opponent controls the same number of monsters as you do, and your opponent selects which monsters are destroyed. So, it's obviously a bit of a wonky card. Once again, slight synchronicity with the deck maybe, but it is a pineapple card indeed. Moving on to some of the sauce. Of course, we got 3 Lone Fire Blossom in there. Classic plant stuff. Once per turn, you contribute 1 face-up plant monster and special summon 1 plant monster from your deck. So obviously, we can use this for the multitude of plant monsters to get out whatever, but you could also do the classic, combo into another Lone Fire, and then combo into another one because it's not a once per turn, and then finish off with the last one. But there's a multitude of plays you can get off with this, and like I said, it's still a work in progress. As always, if you have any ideas for the deck, let me know in the comments. Next, we have 3 Naturia Mole Cricket. I figured I'd try and work at least a bit with the Naturia sauce, try and get some of the plays into the deck and see what works, and then in the future can maybe exchange it out for other stuff. But since we have the pineapple, we're trying her out. And it is, the Naturia Mole Cricket is, during the main phase quick effect, you contribute this card and special summon 1 Naturia monster from your deck, or you can special summon 2 Naturia monsters if your opponent controls a monster with the highest attack on the field, even if it's tied. If your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, or you special summon a Naturia monsters from the extra deck while this card is in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card. And you can only use each effective Naturia Mole Cricket once per turn. So he's a great little combo piece, but then of course a great way to bring out our pineapple if we're trying to mess around with that stuff. Great little stuff, and of course good for synchros. We don't have a lot of the extra deck material that I'd like to have, but like I said, it's a work in progress, but we'll get there when we get there. Next, we have 2 Naturia Camellia, and it is a plant tuner level 4. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send 1 Naturia card from your deck to the graveyard, so we can kind of use this with the pineapple. And if you attribute a monster to activate a Naturia monster's effect, you can send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard instead. So, another way to possibly set off the Soldier Palm, or just get other stuff in our graveyard. And if your opponent normal or special summons a monster, except during the damage step, you can special summon 1 Naturia monster from your graveyard, and you can only use the effect of Naturia Camellia once per turn. So great play extenders, lots of good bonus effects on there. I figured it works well. Next, we have the Stink Bug. He's kind of our battle fader for the deck, plus he's another tuner. Some weird plays we can work with him. When a Naturia monster you control is targeted for an attack, quick effect, you can send this card from the field to the graveyard, negate that attack, then end the battle phase. So he's a pretty decent little play. Good for stalling, of course, and of, keeping maybe a monster alive that, you want to keep out on the field. Next, we got 2 of the Bow Baboon. You can take this up to 3, you could have less. It's if this card is normal or special summoned, you can draw 1 card, then place 1 card from your hand on either the top or bottom of your deck. And if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon any number of Bow Baboon. So, obviously, it's a little bit of an extender, some draw power, just some little sauce in there I'm trying out. Next, we got 1 Naturia White Oak. It is when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets this card. Quick effect, you can send this card from the field to the graveyard, and special summon 2 level 4 or lower Naturia monsters from your deck. But they cannot declare an attack, also destroy them during your end phase. So I don't know how reliable this is going to be or what I'm going to use it for exactly. Obviously, there's lots of potential with it, but I haven't had enough play with the deck to see if it's going to be a super crucial piece or not. Oops, sorry about that. Next, we have 1 Naturia Marin. When this card is normal summoned, you can send 1 Naturia monster from your deck to the graveyard, so some more pineapple-y stuff. And once per turn, you can target 2 Naturia monsters in your graveyard and shuffle both those targets into the deck and then draw 1 card. So, obviously, you can, use him for some extending into drawing. And then, obviously, he's just another Naturia monster for potential plays of different stuff. Next, we have 1 Naturia Cosmo Beat. When your opponent normal summons / sets a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. I figured I was trying it out. It's, obviously an extra monster, but it is on their turn that it's going to be coming out. But you could always just, normal summon it. So it's got some potential. Like I said, another one I'm working with. Next, we got a Cactus Bouncer. It's pretty weird, cannot be special summoned. And while another plant monster is on the field, neither player can special summon monsters. So I figured he's just a good little backup for some weird positions where you might have some good advantage, and then you want to just lay him down, and then, stop him from special summoning, which could be very helpful, obviously. Next, we have a Titanial. You could bring these up or not. A great card to bring out with the Lone Fire if you doing the full 3 combo into it, or just, one of them at some point. But when a card or effect is activated that targets a card on the field, quick effect, you contribute 1 face-up plant monster and negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. And he, it's a bit of a boss monster for the deck. Next, I threw in Juan Cucumber Horse. It's got a couple one-offs that I'm just testing out. That Cucumber Horse I do want to make a deck around at some point. It's just more of testing him out and attacking him. So that's what I'm kind of doing in the deck. He's just kind of an extra piece. And he happens to be a plant monster. He is, if this card in the monster zone is sent to the graveyard, except during the battle phase. So he can only exist on the field in the battle phase, basically. And at the start of the battle phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can send 1 plant monster from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard to special summon this card. Then you can special summon 1 monster from either graveyard to your field, but send these special summon monsters to the graveyard at the end of the battle phase. So it can be some weird techie stuff where you bring out a huge boss monster from, their grave, your grave, whatever. Lastly, for monsters, we just threw in a Dino Wrestler, Prankratops or whatever. And, just some classic-y staple stuff in there. Moving to the spells, we're teching out some of the Naturia stuff. I don't have too much yet. We got 2 Naturia Blessing. Activate 1 of these effects. Special summon 1 Naturia monster from your hand or graveyard. Or immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon 1 synchro monster using monsters you control as material, including a Naturia monster, which is great because it's, a quick effect. And then fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control, including a Naturia monster. Same kind of stuff. Those last 2 effects we don't have too much to pop off with. I don't have the Naturia extra deck monsters yet. But I do have some sauce. And of course, it's just great. It's kind of a monster reborn, basically. Or just from the hand as well. Naturia Forest, and I'd recommend bringing that up to 3 if you're running more than Naturia stuff. Naturia Forest we threw in. If you negate the activation of a card your opponent controls, you can add 1 level 3 or lower Naturia monster from your deck to your hand. There's probably some better sauce. I just had it, and it happened to be a Naturia card. So we threw it in. We'll throw these here. I don't know why I stacked them on top. Next, we threw in a supply squad. Some extra little, sauce to get some draw power off. We have a scapegoat, defensive sauce, and then there might be some plays you can work out with some of the extra stuff. And then we threw in a black garden, another tech piece I'm trying out with plant stuff. I haven't worked too many plant decks in the past other than like rainbow flower stuff, which is a lot different than what we're doing. But black garden is if a monster is normal or special summon face up, except by the effects of black garden, half its attack, then the controller of that monster special summons one rose token to their opponent's field in attack position. This attack loss remains even if this card leaves the field, and you can target one monster in your graveyard with attack equal to the total of attack of all plant monsters on the field, and destroy this card and as many plant monsters on the field as possible. Then, if you destroyed all of them, special summon that targeted monster. So that's kind of a wonky effect, but it is good for just bringing out stuff if they're special summoning a lot. You get a lot of plant fodder for future stuff. So like I said, I'm trying it out, seeing how it works. Moving to traps, just two back to the front, a little bit of sauce. Of course, there's going to be a lot of Naturias going to the grave. Bring them back. Do some extra deck stuff with them. Trap trick, just to search out some of the stuff. You can maybe take this number up. Of course, you can use it to search the Pineapple Blast, which is pretty good. It's just some great little search power. Next, we have the Compulse. Another little bit of removal. Of course, you can swap this out for whatever. Thought it was just fun. Rivalry of Warlords. Some great stuff to, because it's all plant monsters except for the Dino Wrestler. So I figured, one-offs of each. They probably won't collide too much. And then lastly, just a free range monsters. So you can get a little bit of more sauce. I'd probably switch this out for a double summon. This is just all I had at the moment. I think all my double summons are in some other decks. Moving to extra deck sauce. We don't have too much of direct kind of stuff that we're working with, but we do have some kind of randomy bits. Here we got Paralysis Emperor of Blossoms. Gains 400 attack for each plant monster you control, except this card. And during your main phase, you can special summon one level 5 or higher plant monster from your hand or graveyard in defense. So you could use this to recycle Titanium, and you can only use the effect once per turn. Let's see, we'll throw it over here. Next, we got Arrow Mesrafi Sweet Majoram. I really don't know how to say it, but while your life points are higher than your opponent's, your opponent cannot target plant monsters you control with card effects, so it's pretty good little protection. And you can only use each of the following effects of, once per turn. If this card is synchro summoned, you could add one humid winds, which are dried winds. All the wind cards, I don't know what they do. We're more focused on if you gain life points, target one card your opponent controls, destroy it. Even though we're not really doing that, it's just the more likely effect. Next, we just have some random little sauce pieces that could be possibly summoned. Non-plant stuff. Classic little pieces, just generic tech. For Link monsters, we threw in some more generic stuff. Ratons, just to maybe clear out some of the field. And the Doolittle Chimera is just because, the Soldier Palms are fire. So there's a little bit of tech there. Of course, all stuff I could kind of expand on. And then moving into the Xyz monsters, we just threw in a Utopia, Mannequin Cat, just stuff that, we could possibly get out. Rika Queen, Strenna. Nothing that is too synchronicity with the deck, that has too much synchronicity with the deck, but is possible to bring out. So that basically concludes the Pineapple deck. Like I said, it's a work in progress. It's more of a gimmicky, jokesy kind of deck. But I've found all these little pineapple boys, and hopefully maybe Konami will see this and bring out some more pineapples other than just Naturia, Soldier Palm, and Blast. But it is what it is. Like I said, though, let me know if there's anything you think I could do for the deck to boost it up, make it a little bit more efficient. If there's any kind of pineapple-y sauce you think I could throw in, or maybe some other fruits, let me know in the comments. Other than that, make sure to check out my other content. You know, I do lots of deck profiles, Yu-Gi-Oh! DIYs, guides, all kinds of different Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff, pack openings, different trading card game related content. So like I said, check all that stuff out. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know when future content's coming out. And otherwise, thanks for watching. Peace.